Very good, just Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
They had. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dortcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here with Down to Dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Ajay Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel? Unique story. You lived a whole life.
Plain?
Plain.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right. Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is Jdub, world champion Jdub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend, Alex Speers, let me tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance, RUIZ, RUNZerd. Give them a call today, 405-773-5500 or 405-478-7714 today. Listen up. Shelter Insurance is a great insurance company that can help you if something happens to your house or your car or your boat, or maybe you have a motorcycle or a hot air balloon. I don't know, but I do know that it's storm season and your hot air balloon could get carried far, far away if you're not too careful. So make sure that you get it insured. To our friends Aaron and Drew Reese, support the people that support Down to Dunk with me on a Monday night. Was going to record earlier today, but I was like, well, there's a game tonight that has all these things, all these components to it, and I'd rather just watch the game. And so Michele is asleep, and so we'll find another time to pod with Michele, I suppose. Alex is awake. Pacific.
I was awake.
Pacific time.
And I will say that this game needed all of those special ingredients that it had coming in, because I think without those, it would have been a snooze fest.
It was one of the most nothing basketball games.
I'm so glad Jdub came back, and I'm glad we got those 2 early threes from McCain. When he hit those first 2, I was like, oh, here we go, 40 burger. Let's do this. I was ready. Did not turn out that way.
No, he hit one more.
He did. But those 2 shots were really fun.
You know, he Jay Will kind of had the night that we wished Jared McCain would have had. Yeah,
he was on fire.
That's crazy. Thunder beat the Sixers in Philly, 123-103. It was much worse than that, I would say. A game where Jdub returned. Jdub looked great. Honestly, 18 points, 4 boards, 6 assists. He did have 3 turnovers, but defensively, he was locked in. His passing was noticeably awesome tonight. Physically, he looked great. Only 1 or 3 from 3, but he had kind of everything going tonight. And, this is just his first kind of ramp up game. So it was just cool. It was just really fun to see. The full-fledged starting lineup back out there again. It just feels like it's been forever since we've even seen it.
Yeah, I was really impressed with some of the hustle plays too.
Yeah.
You don't know what his stamina is going to be like coming back after that long of an absence. And that play, I think it was in the second half, where he was just I think he got 2 offensive rebounds and then put it back finally. Mm-hmm. Just seeing him battle like that was really great to see, and seeing him take 3 threes. Compared to where he was earlier in the season.
Oh, where it was just painfully obvious that he didn't want to take them. He took them just with confidence, which is what you want.
Yeah. So, for a first game back, it's basically all you could ask for. And I'm glad that they had this opportunity against the Sixers team to bring him back now, because the schedule does pick up. And
does.
he may have worse games the rest of the season because the opponents are getting this end of season schedule is really tough.
It is.
But
It'll be interesting to see who plays, especially in those last 3-ish games. I mean, it'll all depend on how everything shakes out. But
the problem is that the Lakers losing tonight to the Pistons means that there's still a little bit of question about the 3 seed. So I feel like the Lakers are still going to be playing hard for those games,
which will be good for this Thunder team, by the way.
Unless it's like last year. I know that last year it was good for them in the end.
It was,
but in the moment,
you don't want it.
And the way the narratives are going right now with Luka,
you have to do it this way again. Don't do it this way again.
If they show up in that first game and shoot 55% from 3, I'll go insane. Anything but that. But no, I'm super excited for these matchups. I mean, Boston on Wednesday, but seeing Dub come back and look like that just gives me so much more hope for the rest of the season because it doesn't feel. I don't know. I mean, he looked good when he came back after the hamstring. He started rounding into form. He came back twice, right? From hamstring, and he was looking good there. I just feel like we've moved past the beginning of the season. Like that, whatever happened then, he is clearly beyond that. He's to another stage. Maybe he's probably not back to full Dub. I wouldn't expect that. He's been out a long time, but he's at least way beyond what we saw at the beginning of the season, which is great.
Yeah, what's wild is I was looking at the numbers on Cleaning the Glass earlier today. They were still a plus 14 with Shea, Dub, and Chet on the court this season.
Yeah.
Even with Dub not being his full self for a vast majority of those games. It's they were still having a ton of success despite him not being fully himself because the playmaking I feel took a jump this season for him and the defense was always there. He was never really missing that.
Yeah.
It was really just the shooting and just you could see him just the wrists were still really bothering him. And there was no real sign of that tonight during the game. There wasn't him just I mean, he would just flex it and move it and, stuff all the time. And it's just, it does seem like he's finally been able to move past that, which is a big deal. And hopefully he's healthy moving into the playoffs because I do think there's a really unique opportunity in front of this team. We'll get to see the full version of the Thunder for the first time this season on Wednesday against the Celtics whenever AJ returns from his suspension.
Troublemaker. Had to get rid of him for one game.
I was shocked when I heard that he was suspended.
I don't feel if you get your face smushed, I don't feel like you can get. I feel like that gives you. It's like in a video game. It's like getting a star. You get 20 seconds in Mario to do whatever you want. Yeah. You should. If you get smushed in the face, you should be allowed to react. That's all he did. It's not like he threw a punch.
He didn't even get the chance to throw a punch.
They should have let him throw a punch.
If he hit somebody, I get it. And they did clarify that it was about spilling into the stands, which they didn't even say in the pool report that it had anything to do with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is so dumb. This is one of the dumber suspensions because he essentially got suspended from that game that they were in because he didn't play that much.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, especially because there's no prior thing with AJ.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because
I don't get it at all. I think it makes zero sense. The league looks pretty dumb for this one, in my opinion.
So are AJ and Dort? They're now tied for career ejections.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I thought it was a really weird call. I mean, I'm glad that the schedule worked out this way because they clearly didn't need him.
If he were suspended against Boston and they
a bummer.
by 3 or something, it's well, we
Plus
can now say the AJ thing because the league was dumb. But I'm glad it didn't matter. either.
And you also just kind of want to see what this whole team looks like against a really good team.
Yeah.
And now he played in one of the Spurs games, right? One of those early Spurs
Played in
games.
one of the Pacers. Oh, AJ?
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on. Which one was it? Let's see.
Because I was trying to think of like how many games have we actually seen everyone?
He didn't play in the early ones. I think he played in
And was Dub out by that time?
yeah. I don't think that we did see them against the Spurs. Like the full squad, right?
Yeah.
So he did play against San Antonio. Maybe it's just Dub. And he missed the 23rd and the 25th.
Okay.
So we saw him for
That
the
close
club
one,
game.
the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just super excited to see like what Mark does with these lineups down the stretch, assuming everyone's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see how. I mean, I'm assuming we're just going to get a lot of flexibility. Especially when it comes to the bench, where Mark is just mixing and matching. But I do think, as we've talked about, AJ has solidified himself in this roster.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I just don't think you can get away playing him fewer than. I mean, I would say like 25 minutes a game. Maybe that's a little high, but
Yeah. So in this matchup against the Spurs and the one where the Thunder lost by 2,
yeah.
they did have everybody, and AJ played 24 minutes.
Okay. So that might have been the last time we saw everyone.
And like Dort played 21 in that one. Mitchell played 24. Kaysen played 26. Caruso played 24.
And that was a great game.
Yeah.
This was before the Spurs had ruined my holiday season, and I came out of that first game just being like, "Wow, that's just a great game."
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun,
Mm-hmm.
even though they lost. Now, eventually, I'd look back on it with anger,
disgust,
but yeah, that'll be awesome. Just having everyone, because this end of season schedule, which is a little scary when you're looking at the first overall seed. Man, I wish Phoenix could have beaten the Spurs the other night.
I know.
Come on.
They should have.
But yeah, having to play Boston, the Knicks, Detroit, who, hey, we doubted the Cadeless Pistons.
Dennis Jenkins week.
They have increased their lead over Boston. They're now 5 games up. And then playing LA twice. And then the Clippers and Denver at the very end. Okay, maybe those won't end up mattering because of seeding. But, man, that's a tough schedule.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of fun that we get to see what this team is made of.
It's fun, and I just hope if we just can get these 10 games or whatever it is, everyone healthy, build a little momentum. I realize they've won a ton of games in a row, but like build a ton of momentum as a full squad heading into the playoffs.
If they can finally just put together some
wins.
They
can finally put together some wins. That's what I'm saying.
They won 12 in a row.
Yeah, they have won 12 in a row. But you know what I mean? Like, because it is significant integrating someone like Jdub back in to the squad. I mean, probably less significant than a lot of other teams just because it feels like the Thunder are just built on this like plug and play mentality where like night to night everyone knows or doesn't really know what their role is going to be necessarily. So it's probably easier for the Thunder compared to some other teams. But it still is a significant addition to this team heading into the playoffs. I'm so glad that he has come back now as opposed to like game 1 of the first round.
Oh yeah. That would be honestly kind of terrifying.
Just because of the unknown. You just would have no idea what it was going to look like. And so now we're going to have a clear idea heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think just having just another playmaker is just going to help because like we saw like Dub hitting iHeart like in a pick and roll like really early on, and like he's just another guy that can come off a DHO and make a good pass to a teammate. It's just one more like dynamic weapon for them to be able to use, and a guy that is like the second scorer. Like he's the second engine to their offense, and it's just really good to have him back. It would just look really good just to see him out there, and also a bigger defender too. Because like when we're talking about some of these teams that they played, and they've obviously fared very well, but it's like, man, they could really just use a bigger wing defender because they just don't have any like really like mid-sized guy. And it's not like Dub is like huge or anything, but he just defends those guys so much better than like a guy like Cason Wallace. Like it just felt like there were some spots where like Queso didn't feel like he had like a guy to defend.
Well, yeah, the Denver game was the example of that. And yeah, having someone to put on Aaron Gordon and feel good about it will be huge. Yeah, I'm just so excited to see Shea, AJ, Dub, double bigs.
Yeah,
that could be a really special lineup.
Yeah, and I think we will see that
because it doesn't have a ton of weaknesses. I get that it doesn't have maybe the 3-point volume. If you swapped out, if you did a small ball unit with Chet at the 5 and put in Isaiah Joe or McCain, but I just love how big that lineup is and still has so much playmaking.
Yeah,
at basically every position.
Yeah,
I mean Chet's the weakest playmaker of that group, but I like that. I feel like that 5-man unit could dominate.
It should dominate because like defensively too, it's not bad.
It's not.
Even though it's like it seems like they've always wanted to have some kind of like dogged defender next to Shea.
Yeah.
But AJ's definitely not that, but like how dynamic he is as an offensive player and like a downhill driver, just like give me that, please. And his decision making, I would like to have that and just see what it looks like. Because I think that when you think about a team like Denver, I don't know how they could actually slow down that version of the Thunder. Like I just because where do you hide guys?
Yeah,
and you just can't in that specific lineup.
Yeah, I mean if that lineup's putting up like a 120, 125 offensive rating, I mean they just will have so much more room for error defensively compared to a more defensive minded unit. Like some of those defensive minded units, they have to really be like disgusting. They have to really drag the game down into the mud for it to work sometimes. So, it's just very nice with everything going on in the NBA. So many injuries, Ant being out, Cade being out, OKC being, the second most injuries. I saw Shams posted something about that. I don't know if you saw that.
What did he say?
It was something announcing Jdub returning, but saying that OKC still has the second most missed games.
Yeah.
Behind only Memphis. And it feels like it's all coming together, Andrew. I don't want to get too excited, but this is the time of the season when you would want this to be happening. Where it's just everything's coming back online.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really hopeful that we get to see this team just make a run together because
I know that it's annoying for Thunder fans, but I love that all the focus is on the Lakers and Spurs right now. I think that's great. Let's keep talking about them. Just keep talking about them. It's great. Just forget about the Thunder for a little while.
It's so funny that this Lakers stuff is like happening again. I was talking to Rylan about this earlier, but it's like, man, like this feels almost the same as last year.
I know with these two upcoming Lakers games.
Yeah.
It's setting up the exact same.
Just all feels the same. Just hopefully it's a different outcome once we get to these actual games. Because they play in Oklahoma City a week from Thursday.
Yeah.
6:30 p.m. local tip on Prime. And then they play the following Tuesday in LA. First night of a back-to-back. Where they play the Lakers and then the Clippers. So yeah. I mean it is going to be fascinating to see what happens with those two games. But the Lakers did lose to Dennis Jenkins tonight on
there's nothing shameful about that.
Yeah.
But they did do it. And I mean, I'm still, if I could have my way, Andrew, I would love to see the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets are starting to play a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see them jump up over the Lakers. They're 2 games back right now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
It is going to be tough.
Let's see the Lakers remaining schedule without the Pacers, the mighty Pacers.
Hey,
oh my God. These 3 games. Pacers, Nets, Wizards are the next 3 games for the Lakers.
Okay, I'll give them 2 wins. Keep going.
Cleveland, that's a fun game.
It's fun.
At OKC,
Yeah.
at Dallas, who's just a putrid franchise right now.
Yeah, who did Taylor text us was playing well for them?
I don't even remember the name.
It's John Polakidis.
Yeah, don't even remember the name.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that was a brand new name to me.
Yeah. Then they have Golden State, Phoenix, and Utah.
Okay,
so
pretty cake.
Maybe the Thunder just hand them the wins so they can get the 3 seed.
Why would we want the Lakers in the 3 seed?
Do we? Why not? You want the Nuggets in 3 seed.
Yeah. I know all the reasons to be out on Denver, but I don't know. And part of it maybe is because of what we saw last year with the Lakers. There was hype going into last year's playoffs.
A lot.
And then they just got destroyed in round 1.
Yeah, they got shredded.
So
what's the difference between last year's team and this year's team?
DeAndre Ayton.
Dominating.
Marcus Smart.
Okay.
Jake LaRavia.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Kennard.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really do not know what to think about this Lakers team.
I don't either. I just know that like I've seen DeAndre Ayton against this Thunder team, and he looked like deer in the headlights.
So they're so in that first round series last year, after Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Rui, their next 3 were Dorian Finney-Smith, who is not a good basketball player anymore. He has probably one of the worst contracts in terms of like a low level contract.
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Those were their next 3. So, I mean, based on who they have now, like it is a significant roster upgrade from that.
Yeah. I don't know about significant. It is an upgrade.
I mean, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, and who
LaRavia?
Yeah, LaRavia. Yeah.
It's an upgrade. I don't know if
it's an upgrade.
An upgrade, but I think it is an upgrade.
I mean, as bad as Ayton's been, that's still a big upgrade compared to what they had last year.
Yeah, I just don't know that I trust Ayton in the playoffs.
He's done it before, Andrew. He's already been there.
How long ago was that now? Was that 4 years ago?
I don't know. I just remember that truly was like an amazing playoff run from him.
He was awesome.
He was shooting like over 70% in that run.
Yeah.
And then he had the Valley Oop.
Yep.
I mean, that was legit.
And then he completely crumbled. And then the Suns were like, we got to get this guy out of here.
I know.
And then I was kind of excited for him in Portland. I was like, man, this could be great.
And it excited.
Was not.
Yeah.
It was not. It was very bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this Lakers team. I think right now the conversations that are being had about them, I think they're vastly overrated.
Well, and maybe a game like tonight will kind of rein things in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they had to battle back against that Pistons team.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they only hit 11 threes. It's not like they were just like scorching in this one. 11's not that many. God, the Lakers only hit 8 threes. How is that possible? That's bizarre.
So at Boston is
Mhm.
about as big of a game as you can get at this point in the season.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Tatum will be playing.
That's the hope, right?
Yeah.
He didn't play in the last game.
I was kind of blown away by the Wolves win
Yeah.
because, I mean, one, I've just kind of been surprised by the Wolves. I similar to Detroit, Ant and Kate are just those type of players where it just feels like when they're gone, like, well, who's going to do it?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the guy, especially when like watching that Celtics game and seeing like Randall sitting so much
Mm-hmm.
and them still being able to pull that off with like Bones Highland.
Bones was really good.
Yeah.
Somehow he was really, really good. And he kind of has done this whenever Ant sits. When it's the Bones Highland show.
He's kind of got that Danish Jenkins energy.
He's got a little bit of Danish Jenkins in him, is what everybody's been saying. And Io is really good. McDaniels woke up. Man, there are just some like super sleepy games from Jaden McDaniels, man.
Oh, from that whole team. It's night to night. I never know what to expect from them.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem.
I mean, beating Boston in Boston and doing it convincingly.
Yeah,
that was super impressive.
Yeah, it was. It was. With Randall only scoring 9 points too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah, Boston, their problem was that golly, their shooting splits 36, 27, 83.
Wish I would have saved that for us.
That's really bad. They only scored 92 points.
Yeah. That's a huge game. And that's a huge game to have Dub. I mean, I know that they beat Boston, but without Tatum. And so having Dub as another wing defender who can match up with Brown or Tatum, I mean, that's huge. I don't know what they would have done if both of those guys had been playing back when they were a little undermanned.
Yeah. That's what kind of scares me if I'm Boston is like you're counting on a lot of guys who've never really been there. Like,
oh, you mean in the playoffs?
Yeah, like Keita has never been there. Garza's never been there. You know, Baylor Shireman he played 29 minutes in that Timberwolves game, never been there. And like all those guys kind of laid an egg. Hugo Gonzalez laid an egg too. Like it was just it's they're counting on a lot of young guys that have never been there.
Yeah.
And the playoffs are just so different.
And that's why Mark played AJ Mitchell in game 1 of the NBA Finals.
He has finals experience.
He's ready.
He's totally been there. You know who I'm most curious about this playoffs is Isaiah Joe.
Yeah, I would say both of the shooters. That is one of the luxuries of having both Joe and McCain.
Yeah.
You're just kind of hoping, okay, let's just hope one of these guys can show up in the playoffs.
We get one.
If we get one, then we're good.
What about you get both?
If you get both, then we're talking steamrolling to the finals.
Dude, I really do think that the option of having the AJ, Joe, McCain plus you could have both bigs, which they've done with Chet and iHeart. You could have Dub and iHeart. You could have Dub and Chet in there with those guys whenever Shea's sitting is going to be a game changer. The fact that you basically are adding 2 guys into that rotation and a bench rotation that you just didn't have. You had no access to in the playoffs last year. When it was like, when Shea's off the court, how in the world do you manufacture points? And it's like that's a way that they do that. And they get guys like really good quality shots.
And Dub obviously like had massive moments in the playoffs. But you remember like last year during the regular season, like fourth quarter Dub had become this like real thing.
Yeah.
And we were so excited about that. But then in the playoffs, there just were moments where it just like didn't work. There just wasn't enough else out there other than Dub
Yeah.
to help make some of those lineups work. And yeah, now it's like they're spoiled.
And now that we know too that Dub was getting all these lidocaine shots before every single game, and like, couldn't feel his hand, and had to relearn how to shoot. It's like, man, it's kind of cool. He doesn't have to do that right now.
Yes.
And you get AJ. It's just like, can we just get everybody to the finish line healthy? And also, you have like the week of the play-in where you basically just get to be at home and they get to practice. It's like another really good thing. So
I'm still praying for this Blazers Thunder first round matchup. What a treat that would be.
Man, that would be awesome, huh?
Yeah, I'd get to go to a game.
Man, that would be very cool.
It'd be incredible. Although I will say, I was DMing with someone. I think they were at the Wizards game, and they were just saying, one, they were letting me know like how many Thunder fans there were. I was like, man, it really is loud here.
Yeah.
But also, like, the whole Shea free throw narrative has just infested everything. So like, if you're in an away arena, like, you're just gonna hear stuff like that all game, which was also my experience when I went to the Blazers game when they played the Thunder.
Oh, just people are just griping about it.
Yeah. Not even like loud enough for like, it's not like they're yelling at the refs even. I'm just like, it's just everyone behind me is talking about it. I just need to bring headphones to the arena. I can be one of those guys. Like when I used to go to the OU games and there'd be the guy listening to the game on the radio.
You just listen to the Pinto.
Yeah. Just listen to Pinto.
Just got to hear Pinto complain about the refs, It's awesome. Pinto's awesome, by the way. He's so good. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, I'd like to discuss some more standings talk with the Thunder and the team surrounding them. We'll be right back. And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you about my friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. Ring Family Dentistry takes a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brendan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth, plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house. Call to schedule an appointment today at 405-621-1555 or make an appointment online at ringfamilydentistry.com. All right, Al. Are you afraid at all about the Spurs nipping at the heels of the Thunder?
Yes, a little bit. Because they're close to the schedule season. Close to the season schedule is pretty cake.
It is
in general. So they get Memphis, Milwaukee, Chicago. Those are all wins. Also, they just like destroyed Miami tonight.
Yeah, just shredded.
136 to 111.
Yeah.
Then they play at Golden State. I'm not very hopeful.
No.
And at Clippers and Denver. Those are probably your two best chances.
Those are two of them.
And then Philly, Portland, Dallas, Denver. Denver might be sitting their guys last day of the season. So actually, so might San Antonio, unless they have a chance to get the number 1 seed.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm a little nervous, just because the Thunder could easily
play the Thunder twice and the Spurs twice.
Denver.
Yeah, I guess they don't play the Thunder twice. I guess they just play the Thunder and the Spurs twice in like the last 2 weeks of the season. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's not great for them. But all their other games are pretty easy. So yeah, I am a little nervous, and I don't think there's any way Shea can lose the MVP. I would say I'm like 95% confident on that.
Yeah,
but I will say that this season does feel like Shea as Indiana Jones sliding under the door, where he's like getting that second MVP just in time, because Wemby is going to be the favorite for MVP going into next season.
Yeah.
He's obviously going to be the favorite for Depoy. And if he's healthy next season, he's going to win it. Like, you can just feel the momentum towards that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Shea would have to have such an incredible season next year to win 3 MVPs in a row. I don't even know if it'd be possible if Wemby's healthy. Like, if he's just healthy and just plays his normal season, I just don't think they would give Shea a 3rd MVP. So get it now.
What does Wemby have to average points wise to get it?
I mean, dude, there's people wanting to give it to him right now at 24 a game. So I imagine he's going to get better. He's really good. If he's up at like 26 per game next season with his defense, I mean, I'm just saying, man, every podcast I listen to, people are just itching. They wish they could give it to him right now.
Who's saying that? Who's saying that?
I was listening to Bill Simmons and Zach Lowe, and they both still have Shea as the MVP.
Yeah.
You can just hear it. Like, Bill's saying, like, it feels weird to say, but Wemby was the best player I saw this season. I feel weird saying that. You know, they're doing that kind of thing. I'm telling you, the dam's about to break. We got to get this second MVP slide under the door, because the Wemby media, it's done next season. It's over.
I know. The minute that he like qualifies, it's like people are going to want to give it to him.
Yeah.
There will be people that vote him number 1 this year.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if there's a better signal of a guy's greatness than him finishing this high in MVP in this early in his career. Mm-hmm. Like, it really is. If you go back and they talked a little bit about this, Zach and Bill, like the truly great players that end up being at the top of the top when you're talking about the GOAT list, like, they establish themselves basically by their 3rd season.
Yeah.
Where they're like first team All NBA, top 3 MVP. And so it is obviously wildly impressive that Wemby's been able to put this season together. And as long as he's healthy, I mean, the Spurs can't really go wrong. You know, like, I don't know if they could make two, like how do you screw this up? I guess is my question. I don't know if there's anything you can really do.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten so lucky in the lottery so far that it's like,
I know the fact that you have Dylan Harper as just this, like, I mean, he's been very good as a rookie, but like, he legitimately has all-star upside, and he's just kind of like your bench, one of your bench guards.
When you're just drafting it, I mean, they kind of like accidentally did what the Thunder wanted to do, and the Thunder didn't quite even get a chance to do what they wanted to do just because they did such a good job with everything. But it's like drafting in the top 5 over and over again was like kind of like the hope, right?
But also, like, it's when it happens, because the Rockets did the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's
the
true.
Rockets got all those same picks, and now you're looking at it and you're like, does this team need to like trade for Giannis just to matter? Because, like, what is this team right now? Like, what is the future of this team?
The right guys too, because they took Castle when they didn't have to.
Oh man, I still think about that Shea pick, and just man, what a blown opportunity.
I know. Castle would be amazing there.
Dude, I mean, Klingon would be great. Asar would be great. Like, a lot of the guys that were being talked about as, well, I guess you could go with this guy at number 1. Honestly, all those choices would have been at least better than Shea. But it doesn't matter, because Atlanta's about to get another top pick, and
it's
it'll all
true.
work out. But yeah, it is funny looking at the team building, because the Spurs are a much better example of like the true benefits of tanking, like how it can really pay off in a major way. But so much of it is timing, and so much of it is luck, jumping up multiple times.
Yeah. I also wonder, like, what if the Rockets had taken Mobley or Scotty instead of Jalen Green?
Yeah, if they'd taken Mobley, I mean, everything changes. Although I still don't know if, I don't know. What do you think about Şengün and Mobley?
I don't hate that.
Yeah, they would. I guess they don't have any shooting now.
You kind of need somebody like Mobley to help protect Şengün.
Yeah.
You know, because like Jabari is just kind of like a lesser version of that.
Yeah, he is
in so many ways. So like some of it was luck with them, and like they took Amen. That was the right choice. They took Jabari, and
which at the time was like a no-brainer based on who went.
Yeah, you cannot fault them for that. Like,
and who would you want them to take? Like Jaden Ivey, Keegan Murray were the next two picks.
Yeah,
like
I don't really. None of those guys matter.
Yeah,
that doesn't really matter. They did take Reed over Stephon Castle. And Castle was like so much more of a Rockets guy too, and like so much more of an EMAG guy.
Yeah, he really is.
Like they whiffed on that one. And Reed's fine. I like Reed. I think he's fine. I think that he's overtaxed on the team that he's on because they need somebody like him so badly that, like, I don't know. I think Reed's fine. I think he's too small. I think he's a backup. It's fine.
Yeah, they should have been able to look at Castle and been like, oh, what if Dylan Brooks was like a potential all-star? what would that be like? He really would have fit perfectly with like just their culture.
Yeah.
But instead he had to follow the Spurs.
Instead, he's on San Antonio. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of things fell into place for the Spurs.
Yeah. I am like, I'm not downer about this season at all. I'm very excited for the playoffs. I think one of the things I'm most excited about, like, yes, I have some natural fear of the Spurs, but one thing I'm really excited about is just to watch how other teams approach playing Wemby and playing the Spurs teams. Because we've seen some teams have like random nights of success over the course of the season, but they've never been in the playoffs. This team's never been in the playoffs.
Yep.
So getting to see them, even at like a first round matchup against whoever, I think will just be interesting to watch to see what smart coaches try over the course of a playoff series.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to see some non-Thunder good teams play San Antonio in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
Before the Thunder have to. You know?
Yeah. Because they are scary and they're playing so well right now that you certainly understand the hype and people like falling all over themselves. Like I get it. This isn't like a 2-week run. Like this team has steadily been getting better and better this entire season. And if we were Spurs fans, we would be saying the same thing that we were saying about the Thunder 2 years ago, which is like, I get your argument for inexperience, but what else? What other argument do you have?
What else is there?
And meanwhile, people are like, well, you still have Josh Giddey on the team. And I don't. What was it? I mean, it was Giddey was obviously the big one.
Yeah.
The shooting wasn't a thing yet because they hadn't been in the playoffs yet. And they were the best 3-point shooting team that season.
Yeah,
so
they were.
People weren't freaking out about the shooting yet. I guess it would have just been like, it would have still been like Dub and Chet. No, it was not.
No, we were hyped about Gordo at that time. We were still believing.
I don't think we were hyped by the time we were going into the playoffs. We hadn't given up by then. Honestly, you could tell when that post game when he barked. You could tell from that moment. It was never real.
He hated being here so bad.
Hated here.
I still don't get it. I still don't get why, but like that dude did not want to play basketball here. He just didn't.
But I think for the Spurs, you could say, other than inexperience, which I think is a real thing now. I think all Thunder fans agree now. It does matter. Playoff experience it mattered in last year's playoffs where they won the title.
Yep.
There were moments where the Mark fouling up 3.
Oh,
Like that felt like an inexperienced thing.
dude, game 1 of both Denver and the Pacers just
felt like inexperience.
like, no, don't do this.
Now maybe Wemby's just like so amazing that like none of this happens, but I still feel like even the greatest of players and the greatest of teams still have those moments.
You and it's not just, it was Shea was awesome against Dallas.
He was.
Often
forgot.
It wasn't Shea that was the problem.
It was not Shea.
Everybody else. And it's like, is Stephon Castle going to shoot like he did against the Thunder?
Yeah.
In the playoffs? It probably won't happen. If it does, then I don't know. Tip your cap.
I was going to say, other than inexperience, I would say shooting would be like the most obvious. If this goes wrong, how does it go wrong?
Yeah.
Now they're going to have such a high baseline, similar to the Thunder, because of their defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very interested to see how many minutes they play Wemby in the playoffs.
Yeah. I assume he'll play a lot.
I know. Like, if he's playing, 38, 40 minutes a night in some of these playoff games, that is going to be wild.
Yeah.
Every Spurs series is going to be incredible to watch because it's truly our first time to really see them in that environment.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if they have another gear, which is kind of what the Thunder ran into their first time around. Was like there wasn't another gear to get to because they had been full throttle.
Well, and maybe the gear is just playing Wemby more. What if those like non-Wemby minutes you just slowly like minimize those during a playoff series if he can handle it?
I was going to say I wonder if he can sustain it because it is really really hard.
And he is going to be beat up. Every team, because what else can you do?
That's Thunder strategy was whenever they played him was like exhaust him.
Yeah.
Like Kenrich Williams, get in there, exhaust him. And they did a pretty good job the last time they played them whenever they actually took it seriously. Not the one in San Antonio. That's not the one I'm referring to.
Oh, when everyone was sitting.
But they did play pretty well in that game too.
Yeah, they did.
They gave themselves a shot in that one. Jared McCain returned to Philadelphia tonight.
Yes.
And I feel bad for Sixers fans because he's just a delight. He had a big media scrum earlier today. You got to see him do all of his little secret handshakes with all of his teammates after the game tonight. It still just seems like the more you think about it, it's like, man, it was just kind of a tone deaf move from Morey, right? Just to trade a guy that not only does like the fan base love, but then like clearly all the teammates do. When did you see the shot? I retweeted it, but did you see the shot of Tyrese Maxey on the bench?
Oh yeah, I did.
2 3. So he's just like, he's just kind of looking like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Did you see the post from Sixers Adam? Where he said Alex Caruso, upon seeing a swarm of media behind the basket, said, "This is for Jared."
There's just like something special about that guy, and the fact that Daryl whiffed on that is just so bad. I feel so bad for Sixers fans, even if like all he is for the Thunder ever is just like this like bench shooter. Is like, man, like they totally whiffed.
Well, and also there was a case to be made at the time that trade was made, or shortly after, or was it before? I guess it was before the All-Star game, when you had everything with KD's burner, where it was like, maybe this just completely throws off the Rockets season, and this pick actually, maybe they fall into the play-in, and like this pick starts to have a little juice. And while the Rockets have certainly not been good, they like every time you think they're done, like losing back to back to the Lakers.
Yeah.
and just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
But then they go and get like a nice win over Atlanta, and then they get a nice win over Miami, and they just like have stayed alive. They've stayed afloat in this Western Conference.
And then they lost to Chicago in just embarrassing fashion
And
tonight.
then they lost in both ways. Both
Dude.
teams embarrassed. I mean, not that it matters too much, but like the Pelicans fighting for their lives would love to jump Chicago. If Chicago had just lost a couple more games, that would have been realistic. But now they're 4.5 games up on the Pelicans. It's probably just not going to happen. But like that was an easy one. Like you should be able to get in front of the Pelicans. The Pelicans are trying. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're trying, Andrew.
They are trying. It's so sad, but they are.
They're trying. They're doing their best.
Yeah. Nice double win for the Thunder, though. Beating Philly. Thunder.
I know. We were talking right before we went on because we were like, in my head, Philly was in the 9th spot. And so I was like, oh, I wonder how close Charlotte is to jumping them. Forgetting that immediately after Heat Week, the Heat and the Magic just decided to start losing all their games. They've both lost 5 in a row.
Five in a row.
The Magic lost to the Pacers tonight, which I turned on at the beginning of the fourth quarter because I saw the Pacers were up by like 9 or 10. I was like, okay, let's see what the Pacers do here to tank. But they didn't.
No.
Pascal Siakam was awesome. He scored 37. They just played it straight up.
And then
they won the game. If they played like this, yes, they would have been too good to tank. Because that team that played the Magic tonight were like perfectly fine. That's
for one night and one night only.
I know. I do think it's funny how the Pacers just decide who they want to play against. Like, we care about the Thunder. We'll play that game. We care about the Knicks. We'll play that game. I don't know why they care about the Magic. I don't know what the connection is there, but they did for a night and beat them.
For Frank Vogel.
Maybe that's it. Paulo did get. I mean, did you see the final play?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's a foul. Pretty sure that's a foul.
Yeah.
Poor Jamal Mosley. He looked so confused at the end of that game.
He's toast, man.
He's got to be.
It's over.
Yeah, but anyways, so like I was anticipating, maybe the Sixers have fallen to 10 or are really close to it, and they're in 7th. They're a game back of the 6th seed. But they're also only a game and a half up on Charlotte in 10. So there's still a lot of room here.
Yeah.
The problem is Paul George comes back very soon.
He does. He's back. This was his last suspended game.
Okay, so he'll be back for Chicago.
Yep.
Which, like, I get it. He's not great or whatever, but he's. Did you see some of the lineups that were on the court tonight?
Did you see some of the players? I don't think Paul George is going to make that big of a difference, though, bro.
You say that, but I'm serious. Some of those lineups that were on the court tonight, if you didn't know anything and you were just plopped down into that game, you would say, "Oh, the Sixers are tanking this year. The Sixers must be tanking. This is a tanking lineup."
They played Cameron Payne 26 minutes. He wasn't even on the team several weeks ago.
That's tanking. That's a tanking move.
Cameron Payne, tanking move. Dalen Terry plays 18 minutes. Tanking.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, but I do think he'll be helpful. And then I still don't. I haven't seen like the latest Maxey update. I don't know how soon they're expecting him back.
What was the timeline? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
he'll be evaluated at the end of. Oh my gosh, at the end of March. So maybe next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still hopeful about that pick.
I am too.
I just need the Magic and Heat to get their act together, or the Hornets. I want the Sixers to be in the 9th spot. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not greedy. I'm not asking for 10. Okay.
They should already be there.
They should be in the 9th spot. And then they have to win 2 games. And if they do it, hey, good job.
Hey,
tip the hat. Tip the hat. But if they don't, bird night. We're having a bird night.
We're having a bird night. We need another bird night. It could still happen with the Clippers too.
Yeah, it could still happen with the Clippers.
Portland's so close to jumping them.
Yeah.
If they would just win.
They're playing tonight, aren't they?
They have the Nets tonight.
Yeah.
They're killing the Nets, which is saying nothing.
No, it's not. But they do have post All-Star break, they had the easiest strength of schedule remaining.
Yeah.
Why does Scoot have 1 point tonight?
What is going on with Scoot?
It's just game to game. He's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, their next three. So Brooklyn tonight, Milwaukee, Dallas, Washington. So yeah, they could, and then they play the Clippers. They actually play the Clippers twice in their final 6 games.
Sneaky important games on the NBA schedule. That
I might try to get to that. I might try to go to that last one. It's Friday, April 10th.
You should,
because usually one of the last 2 games is the fan appreciation day.
Oh,
do the Thunder do that?
No.
They should. It's great. You get it's everything in the team stores 50% off. 50%, yeah.
What?
Yeah. I got a really nice Mitchell and Ness Blazers crew neck that was $110 for $55.
Dang.
That I never would have bought otherwise. And then I took my son and they made basketball cards and put them in slabs of you. So
I've seen those. They had those at Summer League.
Yeah. So he got to do that.
Wow.
And then multiple food things were $1. The Thunder need to do it.
They've never done this.
I don't know why. A lot of places do it. Even the Knicks do it.
Thunder.
James Dolan. Yeah, Knicks. Do a fan appreciation night. They usually do it the last home game or second to last home game of the season.
Yeah. Do it against the Suns on Sunday.
And
Suns Day.
My impression of it is from going to the Blazers game is that they're just getting rid of all of their old backstock. So every timeout, they're throwing stuff into the crowd.
Yeah.
It's great. It's the best game to go to.
Wow. That should happen.
It should. Be very nice.
That would be very nice.
Be very nice of you, Thunder.
Step up, Thunder. Where's fan appreciation night? It's Thunder appreciation night every other night.
I know, seriously.
When do the fans get appreciated?
I feel like they deserve it. They just got shown up by the Nebraska Cornhuskers in their own gym.
And they're feeling bad.
Yeah.
They're feeling bad. They're feeling defensive, is what I've heard.
Very defensive about decibel levels.
Yes.
Yeah. Make us feel better.
Yeah, I found out about that earlier today. I was unaware of the decibel debate.
Yeah.
Until earlier today.
There's a lot of nuance to it. If you want to get into it. Not everything's what it seems, Andrew. Okay. Who measured it? Who measured it?
That's a great question.
If it wasn't the home arena guy, maybe are we sure that the systems are calibrated the same way?
Yeah, it's true. We'll have to recalibrate these tools to find out.
I've heard, I don't want to say anything negative about the Huskers, but I've heard that they would do something like this, juice the numbers. That's what I've heard.
A team that desperate would juice the numbers.
Good for them. They have a basketball team that matters, though, because growing up, I can't even imagine Nebraska on a basketball jersey.
Didn't Teron Lou play for them?
Did he really?
I think he did. Either that or I need to go to bed.
Yeah, you probably need to go to bed. But let's
He
check.
did.
He did. Okay, let's look at NBA players.
He did in the late 90s.
Nebraska. Okay, how many other players can you name? There's come
Bryce
on.
McGowens
Yes,
did.
Bryce McGowens. There's
Isaiah Roby did.
there you go. Yes, Isaiah Roby.
Um,
Another guy, second round pick, played for the Blazers last year. He played for Boston this season.
Boston this season.
Delano Banton.
Oh, Delano Banton.
Yeah.
Man, they got like him and McGowan's like these like long, lanky kind of hybrid forwards. That's fun.
Mickey Moore. Remember him? Mikey.
Oh,
Mikey
yeah,
Moore.
Mikey Moore. Yeah.
Mikey Moore.
I think Eric Piatkowski, did he play
yeah.
for them?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Who has the most points? It has to be him, right? Oh, no, it's Stu Lance.
I would not have gotten there.
Well, he played back in the 60s. Steady Stu.
Steady Stu Lance. Tyronn Lue's got to be up there too, right?
He is third.
Yeah.
Third.
Yeah. He's a good player.
All right, let us know in the chat. Pick another college. And we'll tell you who went to school there, that played in the NBA.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm so pumped to see this Boston game on Wednesday. I'm so pumped to see these lineups with Dub in the lineup. Because I do think that they're very well equipped to like they have the guys, to deal with this Boston team. Because it's a matchup that like there's no mystery as to where you put Case and Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that they have like guys that would be out of place in any way. So that should be very exciting to see how they play. Full squad. Also Jay will just like lighten it up second half of the season too.
I know. Well, we were talking about that Mavs series from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
A big part of that was because they were so dominant when Chet was on the court. And when Chet was off the court, which were the J Will minutes, that was where they got killed.
Oh, they got just destroyed in the J Will minutes.
And I do think that series kind of colored the way we thought about J Will going forward a little bit in terms of like how impactful we thought he could be, how important of a role player he could be. And I feel totally different about him after this season and then seeing what he did post All-Star break last year, just becoming like a more consistent shooter. And now he's just like, he's just a good overall player.
Yeah.
How about him getting that block charge tonight?
Yeah. I mean,
flipping the script on the man trying to take the charge.
He is. He's just a straight up good player now. And the fact that he can shoot, I need to look up his splits because they have to be outrageous recently, right? Let's see. In March. Yeah, he's shooting 46% in 10 games in March. He shot 44% in 12 games in February. And then, like he was just kind of cold the few months before that. But like these last 2 months, he's just been a lights out 3-point shooter. He was 24-54 in February. And then in March, he was 23 or 49. I mean, he's just been unreal. And he told me that he was dealing with something like physically earlier on in the season.
Oh, really?
It's like part of the reason why he wasn't shooting well. He didn't say what it was, but he just said like he told me like I was dealing with something earlier on in the season. And he's like, now like I got my shot back. Like he's just feeling good. Like he's another. I mean, you put him out there with shooters too.
Yeah.
Like it's just different. So I think that is going a little bit underrated. Is like how different the Thunder are this season compared to last. I feel like that's not being talked about really at all on like the national landscape. Is like how different the Thunder are this year. So
good.
I hope that we get to see it and that everybody else gets to witness it come playoff time.
I do too. Yeah, don't talk about us.
Yeah, please just be quiet and just talk about the Lakers and why this is actually a good thing for them losing to Dennis Jenkins tonight. Okay.
I think Dennis Jenkins might be fifth in MVP. Yeah, I think he's entered the conversation. You got to put him at the table.
Fifth in the MVP voting?
Fifth in the MVP voting.
He has been good.
He's been awesome. He was great against the Warriors. He was very good against the Lakers.
Can't wait to talk about him on Slam and Jam.
5 questions, all Danish Jenkins.
Just Dennis Jenkins only. Can't wait. Hope everybody's doing great. Thanks so much for tuning in to this late Monday night edition of Down to Dunk. And we'll be back again. I figure we'll do something similar to this where we'll either pod Thursday or post game of the Boston game, just because like both of these games just felt too important to pod before.
Yeah.
No one wants a preview pod of a good game. You want a post game pod. So we'll figure that out. Hope everybody's doing great. We'll talk to you guys again after the Boston game.
Until the dawn, until the dawn.